I mean, is Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points? I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get this that day.
Yep.
What's up, everybody? Happy Friday to you all. Hope you all had a nice Thursday night. I had a good one. Well, I definitely had a winning night. It'll be a very good night if Arizona money line holds on. I have the Snakes. They're up 5-2 in the ninth. So I need the Diamondbacks to close it out, and it'll be a great night. Either way, it'll be a winning night for me. So nice little Thursday night. Didn't end up betting the Timberwolves. And you know what? I liked Golden State team total under, Minnesota team total over, and Minnesota minus the points. I was kind of circling all those ideas. Ended up betting 0 of them, and all 3 would have hit. So
who gave out the Golden State team total under? Because I tailed somebody. You didn't post that?
No, I talked about it on YouTube. Oh, somebody in the Discord was on it.
Okay, cool. So someone give somebody there that credit. I don't know who it was. I tailed that.
I can't remember who it was. Somebody did post it in the Discord, though. All right, so we got 15 games, and then there's 2 NBA games. It's a loaded Friday night. A lot of action. Oh, update. So for those of you that are around May 22nd, instead of going to Billy's after the Yankees game, me and Toast, we're going to hang out in the parking lot. I'm setting up TVs in the parking lot and cornhole. So we're going to be playing, throwing bags, and watch. There's 2 afternoon games after the Yankees game. The Phillies are in Coors at 3:30, and there's another game too. So we're going to set up TVs and put the baseball games on and throw cornhole after the game. For anyone, whoever wants to stop by, it's not like an event or anything. Like I don't, have to register or tell me you're coming, whatever. We'll be out there.
Is that Memorial Weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to the Indy 500, so.
But it's on Thursday though. Thursday the 22nd. It's not the actual weekend. But yeah. So instead of going to the bar, we're gonna hang out in the parking lot and set up like a thing. All right.
I might go to a couple of the Mets Dodgers games, so I'll keep everybody posted if you guys are trying to meet up and stuff like that on other spots. Sauce might go Sunday too, so we'll see.
No, I'm down Sunday. I won't be going Friday or Saturday though, but I'm down Sunday. All right. And I don't know if Lander's going to make it for the 2 NBA games at the end. We'll see. I sent him the link. We'll see if he can make it. First up, Rangers on the road to Detroit against Scooby. Didn't look, don't care. There's a few games I like. There's actually a game I really like. We'll get to it in a few minutes.
I got the call again, guys. Don't worry. I'm not going to say who it is, but I did get the call.
It's a game I really like. Favorite bet of the year.
I was going to say, I didn't want to say that out loud, but he did say that.
So any reason to think the Rangers can get to Scooble here? Toast?
Nope. Nope. Today I'm kind of dodged a bullet because I didn't bet the Rangers, but they didn't have. I don't think they played Seager and somebody else. I don't really care. I get that the Tigers are coming out of Coors, which isn't obviously a great spot, especially playing a doubleheader. But Scoobles should be fine. It's not like anything's going to change for him. And as far as the Detroit offense is concerned, yeah, they put up 1 billion points in Coors, but they've been putting up 1 billion points for 2 weeks now. So take away that, I think they scored 10 runs or more in each of the games tonight, 8 last night, and then going from out of Coors, LA to Houston to Baltimore, 13-2, 9-10, 7-4, 8-6. I'm sorry, 7-4, 5-7-6. So this Detroit lineup is just on another level right now. So I guess you can downgrade them a little bit because they did play a doubleheader in Coors tomorrow. Again, and there's not a chance in hell that I would pay this price. But but they didn't use any of their main bullpen arms. Like they should all be good to go tomorrow. So even if Scooble got in a little bit of trouble, there's just no way I could get. Trust me, I tried to get to Texas. I just can't do it. So it would only be Detroit minus 1.5. Not a chance in hell I bet it, but it would only be Detroit.
I don't think so here. I think Detroit's going to struggle to score runs. I think you go under here. Actually, the weather here isn't that bad in Detroit. Where is it? It's pretty mediocre. It's minus 12% run index, one of the lower ones. Not to mention it's a pitcher's park to begin with. You got back-to-back games, a doubleheader in Coors Field, immediately flying home without a day off. Look, but like Toe said, I'm not going to make a case for the Rangers to hit Scooble. Absolutely no way, no how. But the Tigers' bats might be flat here, and Corbin Yes, I know it's Corbin. He hasn't been all that bad, number one. Number two, I know that the Tigers have some decent-looking numbers against lefties. I don't really trust the Tigers against lefties. They were struggling to get to Kikuchi. They didn't really get to Kyle Hart. I don't know. I think I would go under here.
Yeah, I'm with you. Under 7.5 too. Literally every reason you said is the reason I had. The doubleheader today. Now you're flying back. No rest days. Scooble's going. Corbin's been fine on the road as of late. And then, excuse me, the 2 games he's played against the Tigers, 2023 and 24, he gave up 2 and 1 earned, and he went 11 in the third inning. So 3 total runs. Granted, this Detroit lineup I think is a lot better. But mid June last year, Detroit started to kind of figure it out a little bit, and then they went on that big run. July or whatever that was, August. So I still think the under. I just think Detroit's gonna be a little flat. In Texas, congrats, you fired your hitting coach, you got new guys, but it's Scooby on the bump. So under 7.5, but I'm not 100% sure I'll play this game. I wanted to play Detroit first 5, but it's -1. Like I don't want to do that. So
yeah, let's move on. I don't dislike that under. 7.5's a little tough, but
maybe a Scooble under earned runs or something. I don't know.
Athletics are on the road in Pittsburgh against the Pirates. Bailey, Beto versus Falter. Oh, Beto returns to Pittsburgh. Revenge game here for Beto, the former Pirate. I have nothing positive to say about the Pittsburgh Pirates bats. I still can't believe the Skeens game. I can't believe they lost that game. That was my biggest bet of the day, was the Pirates, and they could not get to the Cardinals' 5th, 6th, and 7th bullpen arms. I mean, they had no bullpen, and they just were throwing anybody out there coming in and blanking this lineup. Pittsburgh's bats might be the worst in baseball. They're that bad. In the last 14 days, they are literally dead last. 30th in WRC+. Doesn't look like Beto's been very good. What do you think here, Toast?
It would only be Atlanta for me.
Atlanta?
Yeah, it's A's or Atlanta Pirates.
Jesus Christ, I'm looking at the wrong goddamn game.
Wait. It's Atlanta? Did I put the wrong? Oh my God, it's Atlanta.
Yeah, Yankees are at Oakland.
Okay, I'm like, am I?
I double checked. I was like, wait a minute, was I looking at
Damn it.
Previous day or something?
Okay, I'm like
Bryce Elder. All right, what do you like here, Toast?
Still, it would only be Atlanta or pass. I'm not. There's not a chance in hell I would try to catch a falling knife with the Tigers. So, Bryce Elder's been actually somewhat decent this year as well. So, again, not betting it. Not a chance in hell I bet it. But it would only be the Braves for me.
All right, I'm putting the correct poll up. Braves are pass for Toast, and who's pitching for the Braves? It's Elder. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have anything?
And the Braves are -145, just for everybody to know.
Yeah, everybody knows how bad the Pirates have been. They've been absolutely awful. They can't hit. They can't score runs. -145 is very affordable with the Braves. But Shelton, whatever the hell his name is, just got canned. We've got a bump spot for the Pirates. Give me Pirates money line. Friday night at home under the lights in the Berg. Freshly fired manager. This team's going to be fired up. Pirates money line.
A bump spot?
A bumski right here. We got a bumski for the Pirates.
Oh, so let's see what the Braves used tonight. They did use a few arms. I was watching it. I know Iglesias pitched. Pierce Johnson. I was looking at it though. I'm pretty sure
Iglesias and Lee are going to be down.
No, I think Iglesias might be. Oh, maybe Iglesias might be down. Yeah. So the Braves bullpen slightly compromised. Not anything crazy.
The only reason that I said he might be down is because he works Saturday, Sunday back to back, and then 2 of the last 3 days, Tuesday, Thursday. It's just a lot in general for a team that has to rely on that guy.
All right, Trev, I'm not going to bet it, but bump spot, Pirates or pass.
Matey, let's go.
I wonder if when we get to the A's game, I'm going to have the Braves in that spot accidentally. Cardinals, Nats.
Thank you, God, Ohtani. Thank you, God.
What happened?
I just cashed a bet.
What did he do?
Homer.
I cashed my over 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. I honestly don't know. I got a text from Shipley.
He homered.
Oh, okay, good. So Diamondbacks still won.
I forgot that you were on the Diamondbacks. It wasn't a...
Yeah, so I got the Diamondbacks.
I just needed to see something go through the hoop after the last 2 days of favorites, and overs.
It's been a rough week, man.
Cardinals on the road in Washington. Fetty making a road start against Mitchell. Parker. All right, let me pull it up. We got the Cardinals against a lefty. That for a while that was something nice, but I think that might be over with. Let me just make sure. Against lefties, last 14 days, 17th in WRC plus. So Cardinals slightly below average against lefties in the last 2 weeks, 20th in the last 30 days. So I think the Cardinals against lefties thing might be dead. I mean, they really didn't do much against Andrew Abbott. They had some base runners, couldn't get any across. Made a little bit of noise against Quintana, didn't do much. So I think the Cardinals against lefties thing might be a thing of the past. Mitchell Parker looked rough in his last 2 starts, though. You have any leans here, Toast?
It would only be the Cardinals for me. Or, I'm sorry, it would only be the Nationals for me. I get that Mitchell Parker's looked really, really bad his last 2 starts. I don't think that that's indicative of what we're going to continue to see out of him. Albeit neither one of those offenses are that great, but this Cardinals offense has, fallen off of a cliff versus left-handed pitching. So I'm not sure. The Nats didn't play today, so they all should be good. So the Nats offense definitely sees a bump when they're hitting at home too. They're one of the better home lineups in Major League Baseball, at least top 10 as far as home lineups are concerned. So and also on top of the fact that Fetty really struggles versus lefty bats, you should be seeing a lot of lefty bats with the Nationals here tomorrow. So Wood, Abrams, Garcia, Lowe, Bell, Ruiz. They're all essentially lefties. So it would only be Nats or pass for me.
My model loves the first 5 under here. I have almost 7 runs being scored in the first 5 innings.
You mean the first 5 over then?
First 5 over, I'm sorry. Yeah. I have almost 7 runs being scored in the first 5 here on the model. Well, I don't know if I blindly follow it, but that's what I'm showing. Trev, what do you think?
She heard
that.
Yeah,
I like the Nationals first 5. I just had the price here. Let me get it. Minus the half, plus 105. Plus 115. I have to shop around on this book. I got 10 cents better on the same exact bet. First 5 plus 115. Mitchell Parker, yes, he hasn't looked good his last couple, but I think it's a nice bounce back spot. You got St. Louis, hasn't been able to hit lefties lately. The last couple of games, they got 0-1 off of Abbott, Quintana, and then David Peterson, they got 3 and Valdez 7. Other than that, 1 or nothing basically for the last 6. Now they're going to be on the road. Mitchell Parker bounced back. Eric Fetty has not been sharp at all. I backed him once this year, and I forget, it was the first start of the year. So the Twins, he owns the Twins. Other than that, I want no part of Eric Fetty ever. Has been sharp. Now Washington versus righties. At home the last 2 weeks, 231 plate appearances here. Yep, 231 plate appearances, 20.8 strikeout percentage, 774 OPS, 144 ISO, a 119 WRC plus, and hard hit percentage. Where are they at? Down here at 24th, 24%. So it hasn't been sharp, but they're still hitting righties very well. They're getting runs in, and they're at home. Where if this was in St. Louis, I wouldn't want any part of this. But I like the Nationals first 5. I may fire on this one, to be honest. It's back in Parker in a bounce back spot against a team that's been struggling versus lefties as of late. And the Nationals have been hitting righties, and Eric Fetty does not scare me one bit. So Nationals first 5 are nothing for me.
I just took the first 5 over 4.5 and minus 105. Just a model play, something light.
Wind is blowing in.
No, it's not too bad. I just looked at it. It's not too bad.
It's 8 miles, 6-8 miles an hour, nothing serious.
And it's not even blowing directly in. It's blowing like towards first base, kind of. So get your facts straight.
Whoa, buddy! Don't make me turn this computer around and show you the weather report.
Yeah, from where are you getting it from? Fakeweather.com.
Realweather.com.
Worst comeback of all time. No, realweather.com. First 5, I just bet this. I'll even put it on the screen.
I don't really like that.
Blindly tailing the model here for something light. First 5 over 4.5.
Just a little lunch money for you.
Just a little something. Just a little something.
Little cannoli money.
Little cannoli money.
Don't even get me started. I can't think about that right now.
Brew Crew.
Here it is.
Love it. I'm all in on the Brewers here. I got the Brewers money line at minus 108. I got the Brewers minus 1.5 at plus 150. It's a Brew Crew spot. We just saw the Rays go to extra innings. Their bullpen was already taxed, and they still used all their guys. We saw Fairbanks out there. We saw Ucheta out there. We saw not just that. We saw Clevenger out there. The only arm they saved, I believe. Let me get the graphics up, and then I'll go look at the specifics. Let me just get this up. So, boom. Brewers money line -108 I got, and Brewers -1.5. So let's take a look at who pitched for the Rays tonight. And keep in mind, they were already taxed because they used all their guys last night. So Clevenger has pitched on back-to-back nights. Ucheta, back-to-back nights. Fairbanks, back-to-back nights, and he threw 28 pitches. 3 of their top 4 arms will not be available for this game. Their top 3 arms will not be available here for the Rays. You're gonna have Manuel Rodriguez. Mason Montgomery will be available, but he pitched tonight as well. So one of the main arms they're going to need has also thrown 2 of the last 3 nights. You're going to have a guy when it gets into the late inning, they need Zach Littell to throw 7 in this game in the worst way. When it gets to the late innings, actually, why don't I just bring it up on the screen? I'll show you so you guys can see. All right, so here's the Rays bullpen. They're not updated yet, but these are the guys who pitched. Fairbanks pitched. That's back-to-back nights. He's out. Ucheta pitched back-to-back nights. Out. Clevenger pitched back-to-back nights. Out. They're going to have Manuel Rodriguez. He's going to be available. Montgomery pitched tonight. So he pitched 2 of the last 3. He'll probably be available, but they've used him. Eric Orze, Cole Sulser, Mason Englert. Those are the arms we're going to see in the second half of the game for the Rays. Not to mention it's Katana. He throws with his left hand. I know the Rays did make some noise today against Jesus Luzardo. They made a sweat for our Phillies money line bet, but as a whole, the Rays have been one of the worst lineups in baseball against lefties. Brewers had the day off, fully rested. Love it. Play of the day. Milwaukee, money line -1.5. Let's do it, Trev.
Took the words right out of my mouth. They got no friggin' bullpen. What does scare me, I will say this for Tampa, but this will be the 3rd straight lefty they've seen in 3 days. So
it's also going to be the 4th straight day that they're going to be a heavy public or a heavy public. The team that they're going to be playing is the most public bet on the board, and it's cashed 3 days in a row.
The White Sox do that all the time.
They're not the public bet on the board, though.
I don't care.
Whoever plays them, for the most part. But yeah, I mean, Milwaukee. I mean, -110. I just play it. I mean, you know what? If you're gonna do it, I'll ride the 1.5 with you. Let's freaking do it. It is a 9 total. I thought about Brewers team total over, given the bullpen issues for Tampa Bay. Not to mention Littell has been meh at best. And look at that little record there by him. He's 2-5, so they don't win the games he pitches. He gives up a ton of runs, and they've struggled to hit lefties and give them extra runs to help them out. So Brewers 1.5 over team total. I'm assuming it's 4.5, like juiced or something like that. I didn't see it, but yeah, Brewers money line for me. I already bet that.
Someone says the Rays bullpen taxed is still better than the Brewers bullpen.
Hey, watch your mouth.
No, it's not, bro.
It's true.
He was making a joke. The person in the comments was making a joke. It was a funny joke. I laughed.
Didn't take it as a joke.
But it's not serious. Manuel Rodriguez, Mason Montgomery. Are you kidding me? Better than McGill? You're nuts.
Uribe.
Koenig, they're fully rested, this bullpen. They're ready to roll. Toast?
I'm not betting the Brewers right now. I can tell you that. I'm not a hater. I have my ways, and it is what it is. If the favorites continue to win for the 3rd day in a row, you guys are better than I am.
Dude, the market just loves the Rays for some reason.
I guess so. And I think that, again, I hit my over today, so I'm not bad. But this is like the exact same situation as the Phillies today. You have Quintana, who's, I give you, has been pretty damn good. I mean, except for his last start, but he's going to be facing eight righty bats in the lineup, and that's definitely the side he struggles with exponentially worse than against lefties. So and not to mention the fact that Littell, I mean, I'm not trying to go to bat for the guy, but he's just his last 3 starts, Yankees, Padres, Arizona, he went 6, 5, and 7 innings. So I'm not really worried about him like getting out of this game early. I mean, if he gets tattooed by this Brewers lineup that, I mean, hit up Wisniewski and Blanco, I mean, good for them. But I mean, let's not forget that before that, Tyone, Ben Brown, Sean Burke, Shane Smith, Bryce Wilson all pitched pretty damn well against this Brewers team. So I just don't think it's as a slam dunk as you guys, but I don't have anything to say to bet the Rays besides the price. It's not like the books don't know that the Rays bullpen is taxed and all that such stuff. So
Maybe they didn't catch the game.
I'm just a hater.
Oh, we know. We're well aware. Let's move on to the next one. Philly. Shout out Phillies. I like how the one guy commented when we were down 5-1. Phillies was such a bad pick. Should have doubled down on the Phillies whenever you see a mush like that. Phillies come through for us in the late innings. That being said, I haven't bet this very, very strongly considering hitting the Cleveland plus 108 that's available right now. Phillies just go into extras in Tampa. They used Alvarado. They used Strom. Now, I think, let me just pull it up to make sure. Alvarado was rested, so he should be available to go a second day. Strom, probably not. So, Phillies bullpen, a little bit on the tax side. Nothing crazy, but they just play an extra inning game in Florida. Fly all the way up to Cleveland, a completely different environment against a rested Cleveland team with a full bullpen available to them. Kind of reminds me of the Dodgers-Arizona game. I just cashed on Arizona money line for playing kind of a similar spot where the Dodgers just played a game in South Florida and Miami, flew all the way out to the desert against Arizona. That's kind of what it reminds me of here. And I think
if you like Cleveland, why don't you take a look at Aaron Nola and what he struggles with, lefties or righties, and what do we know about Cleveland's lineup?
Does he struggle with lefties? Because if that's true, I'll pull up the spreadsheet now. If that's true, I'll place this bet right now.
Would I lie to you, my friend?
Well, I don't know. You didn't say it. You just what does Aaron Nola struggle with?
Okay, he struggles with lefties. I don't need to pull up the spreadsheet.
It's not that bad though. Well, actually, xFIP 434 to 196. That's pretty significant. All right, I'll bet Cleveland. Toast.
He's got the highest xFIP on the board for. Nope, he's got the highest whip on the board tomorrow. Gavin Williams does.
I'm betting Cleveland.
243 the last three
you
games.
You still get a plus 108. That's the best available.
I was just about to say that FanDuel is going to be your best bet on Cleveland. It's one of the only bets I've made for tomorrow.
Oh, you're on Cleveland?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
So, again, just like I said, this isn't me trying to pick on Aaron Nola. I do think that obviously we've seen him bounce back. Two very good starts against the Cubs in Arizona, two teams that destroy right-handed pitching. So it's not me trying to fade Aaron Nola, but very similar to like Saw said, it's kind of like the spot, and he does really struggle with left-handed bats. You're going to see almost everybody in that lineup tomorrow be a lefty for Cleveland, except for what's his face. Arias, something like that. I think it's Arias, but regardless, you're going to see a whole bunch of righty bats in that situation. And on top of the fact that I don't really care at this point. I don't really care if the Phillies bullpen is rested or not. They're just not really a unit that I trust. That's part of the reason that I wanted to play the over here today, and they gave it up. Yesterday, as far as the Phillies game. So it not only be. I bet Cleveland at plus 108 on FanDuel. I would bet it sooner than later. It's already starting to move.
Yeah, I just got the same plus 108 on FanDuel. That is still available as of right now. What about Jonesy?
Yeah, I like Gavin Williams over 4.5 hits allowed. He's given up 7 hits in his last 3 games. Not to mention Philly just had him here. Last 2 weeks on the road, 185 plate appearances. They've been 284 versus righties. Almost a 17% strikeout rate. I know the bullpen's there and they can pull him up, but Gavin Williams has just been giving up hits. Philly, I think, can do it. I don't like how many lefties they have because Gavin Williams is not bad versus lefties, about 208 or something average. But versus righties at home, he's got a 414 batting average, 33 batters faced, 12 hits. So, I think Cleveland or Philly can at least get 5 or so hits off of him before they go to the bullpen and yank him out. So, over hits allowed. That's how I like it.
Someone said in the comments, Trevor's going back to therapy. Blue Jays are up 8-5 in the 9th.
This team is so infuriating. I hate that team so goddamn much.
All right, next up, Cubs, Mets. I didn't place this bet. I was listening in the voice chat, and I think the move here, I'll put it on the screen. So I have a bet that I'm considering. I don't think I'm actually going to get there because both these lineups both these lineups can just go nuclear at any second, both the Cubs and the Mets this year. So I don't think I'm actually going to pull the trigger on it. But I think the move here is to go right here. First 5 under 4 at minus 102. Both these starting pitchers have been better than you think, better than perceived. Citi Field, You might not notice it because the Mets lineup has just been loaded the last few years. That's a pitcher's park. It's not an easy park to score runs in, and the weather is not conducive for scoring runs tomorrow. It's actually the lowest on the board, negative 24% run index. Negative 24%. So it's not great weather for scoring runs here at Citi Field. Two starting pitchers that are pretty solid. Two lineups that, and I'm saying this not just about the Cubs, I'm saying this about my own Mets lineup as well. Maybe a little bit overrated. It's streaky. The Mets have the ability to get hot as shit. The Mets can also really let you down offensively. And I think this is going to be a 1-0 baseball game after 5 innings. Steez was saying he doesn't trust the Cubs bullpen, and I kind of get that. So I would stick to the first 5 because who knows? Both these bullpens can implode, and both these lineups can just score 7 in an inning. So to decrease my chances of that, stick to the first 5. I think we see good outings from both these starters. Like I said, I think it's a 1-0, 2-1 baseball game after 5 innings. So I didn't place this, but I am strongly considering it. It's minus 102 on BetMGM when I looked. Those?
Trevor, go ahead. Oh, to me?
Whoever wants to. I don't care.
It would only be the Cubs for me. Probably going to bet this. I'm just going to want to watch this line to see if it gets any better. But first and foremost, I don't really worry about the Mets offensively. I think when Soto starts getting going and Alvarez is back 100% healthy and all that stuff, I think there's only room for improvement, but the Mets offensively is not something that I really worry about. And to that point, Jameson Taillon, not a guy that I'm running to the window to back on a start-by-start basis, but I mean, he's been fantastic this year. I mean, Milwaukee, on the road at Milwaukee, on the road at San Diego, on the road at Arizona, on the road at Oakland or Sacramento, whatever. Only Arizona was the bad start. That was his first start of the year. Besides that, he's been really good. He also had home starts against Texas, Arizona, and Philadelphia. On top of that, Jameson Taillon just owns the Mets franchise. When the Mets look at their birth certificate, I think it says Jameson Taillon father, because I mean, they can't touch this guy. 14 innings last year, 11 strikeouts, 2 runs. Go back to 2023, another 7 innings performance of 2 runs. Like, Jameson Taillon loves pitching against the Mets. And you're going to give me this Cubs offense that has been kind of lackluster, I guess, the last couple days or so in that San Francisco series. They've lost 3 out of 4, and now we're getting them at this big plus price against this Met team that's going to be coming back from the West Coast and a West Coast road trip. Cubs money line for me.
Something I will say, if you are trying to back the Cubs or Taillon, so Taillon actually has really nice looking numbers against lefty bats, which could come in handy here because he himself is a righty. He throws that slider a lot, cutter. He has a slider and a cutter as his second and third pitches that run in on the hands of lefty bats. The reason I'm bringing that up, you look at the dangerous pieces right at the top of that lineup. You got Lindor. He's going to be batting from the left side. You got Juan Soto. He's going to be batting from the left side. So obviously you got Pete Alonso. You got Mark Vientos. There's a couple dangerous righties, but the fact that Taillon has a 202 WOBA and an 076 WHIP against lefty bats this year. Lefties are really struggling to hit Taillon, and that counts. That's Lindor and Soto. So yeah, that's not a bad matchup. What about Jonesy?
Oh, I've been telling you guys this for a couple days now, and it's been just free. The Cubs are in a free for all. They're spiraling. This team is just mentally defeated after that extra innings game against the Giants. They have done nothing, and it's going to continue tomorrow. Mets are going to bust their ass. Clay Holmes has been really damn good. I just had a bad game against St. Louis. He's going to come back and bounce back against this inept Cubs offense that's just down the shitter. Cool, you were hot to start the season, but it's coming. Reality is starting to set in that, guys, we are not this good. Look at what our bullpen just did. We can't score this many runs. They're overthinking it. They're trying to hit homers every time. They're going to fly. They're terrible. Give me the Mets minus 1.5 plus 150.
Wow, laid the run line.
Yep.
Wow.
I am not afraid of these Cubs. There's a reason there's a big old L behind me. They suck.
Bold play. I hope you win, Trev.
Yeah, especially
it pains me to back the Mets, but I hate the Cubs even more. So,
especially considering the Cubs are just smashing on the road. But yeah,
cool. Did you not see what happened against the Giants immediately after?
Yeah, because Robbie Ray's back. I called that. That was easy money. I didn't expect them to do anything.
I was with you, but when Presley comes in and gives up 9 earned with 0 outs,
Presley's like a borderline Hall of Famer.
inning,
That's not gonna last.
Borderline Hall of Famer. Ninth inning, you make that comeback. You're feeling good. You get nothing on the top. You hold them to nothing at the top of the 10th, and then you come back and goose egg it, and then give up 9. Like, this team is just so mentally defeated right now. They need the All-Star break bad. They're going to be hurting.
Mentally defeated is a good word because you're going to be feeling that tomorrow when you lay minus 160 or minus 1.5 with Clay Holmes on the bump.
No, when it's
Clay Holmes has looked excellent.
I laid the run line. Yeah, Clay Holmes has been good. He just had one bad outing.
Mm-hmm.
Last time he had a bad outing, bounced back with a 1 and just masterclass.
Yeah,
it's going to be 5-1 Mets tomorrow.
The 2 starts against Miami, the start against Minnesota, the start against Washington. I mean, he's just facing murderer's row. Murderer's row.
The difference between those teams and the Cubs.
Woo!
Cubs are ass.
Wow. Bold talk from Jonesy. Weird one here. Specifically, Hunter Dobbins against the Royals bats. I mean, if you rewind a week ago, Kansas City was one of the coldest lineups in baseball. That is not the case anymore. The Royals are hitting. In fact, in the last 2 weeks, in the last 14 days, they're 8th in Major League Baseball in WRC+. In the last 2 weeks, they're 3rd in baseball against right-handed pitching. So out of nowhere, the Royals are red hot, scoring runs.
But they're not. Like, that's what's wild.
Yes,
Look at their last 10 games.
Today was bullshit, too.
They're 3rd in WRC+.
I get what the numbers say. 2, 4, 3, 11, 4, 0, 8, 3, 3, 3. They're not. It's like they're not scoring runs. I don't understand that. I know what the numbers say, but they're not scoring a whole bunch of runs. They've had 2 blow-up games and a whole bunch of 3-run games. That's it. That is it.
You taking Boston?
No, I can't. I don't know what to do with the Royals. They're an enigma. I have nothing. I want no business.
The Royals are an enigma.
I have no interest in betting this game.
What about Jonesy?
Well, I just want to say, one, it was pretty bullshit of the Royals to score 4 runs in the bottom of the 8th to screw my under today. Just completely disrespectful. But I like this Hunter Dobbins kid. I like him a lot. The Royals, like Toe said, they've had 2-3 games where they just went nuclear. Other than that, they're just kind of just hanging around the Mendoza line at, 2-3 runs. So give me the Red Sox first 5 money line, minus 120. I'm debating betting this one. I haven't yet, so I'm not sure if I will. But I really like Hunter Dobbins. Lorenzen, no thank you. Not to mention Casey had just put up 10 runs today. They're going to go ice cold tomorrow. And the weather we have in the Royals, wind blowing in 6 miles an hour, 70 degrees. Roughly. So I just like the Red Sox. I think they're better, and I just don't like Michael Lorenzen in this Kansas City team. No spite from today, just overall, they have not been an offensive juggernaut.
I think the move in this one would be to go over. I don't trust either starting pitcher. The Red Sox go out on the road where the bats always seem to show up. I believe they've been one of the best road lineups in baseball over the last few years. They always seem to hit better when they leave Fenway. So you got the Red Sox leaving Fenway, seeing Michael Lorenzen, who, to put it delicately, isn't the best starting pitcher. I think the Red Sox hit him up, and Hunter Dobbins, I don't know what Trevor likes about him. He pitched well against the White Sox.
The under the hood numbers.
What under the hood numbers outside of the White Sox game? He's gotten rocked in both of his starts.
Okay, he's a rookie guy. He's a rookie. He's a rookie, but now he gets to go against Kansas City. If there's a spot to bounce back, it's this right here.
Kansas City is 3rd in Major League Baseball against righties in the last 2 weeks.
Those 3 runs are scary. What, they have 2 games where they had like 9 or 10 runs?
He said those 3 runs are scary.
I kind of want to bet this. Because I feel like everyone's just looking and like, oh, Kansas City can't score runs. And if you're actually looking, they're hitting.
Yeah.
Which means the runs are coming.
Sooner or later, you would think. Yeah.
Maybe in this spot right here. How many righties in the Royals lineup is righty heavy too? Hunter Dobbins numbers look like shit. I'm betting this over. I don't care what anyone says.
I'm not.
Hey, we can both win.
I was just making the point that the Royals are an enigma and their numbers say one thing and everything else tells me another. I don't know what to do with this team. They're also one of the hottest teams in baseball. They're 14-6 their last 20 games. They don't lose.
What you do is you take the over. That's what you do.
Yeah, take the over in a Royals game. Famous last words.
Take the over in a Red Sox road game. Famous great bet. Over 9. I'm in.
Game of the night next, though. So
Trevor's got a prop on the next one.
Oh, hell yeah, I do.
All right, hold on. I just bet this over 9.
It's Bryce Wilson. It's probably Marlins team total over.
No.
Or no.
No.
Oh, player prop?
Player prop.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's move on to the next game. Marlins on the road in Chicago to play the White Sox. Trevor, take it away. You got a prop in this one.
Yes, old Maxi Meyer here. Absolute stud. We know this. Bryce Wilson, absolute chum. We have all seen this all year long. He's just absolute ass. Marlins, I don't want nothing to do with the Marlins that they're going to score runs or do this because they could easily not do that. But Max Meyer over 17.5 outs. He has gone over this number. He went 4 of his first 5 were 6+ innings. And then at Seattle, one of the better offenses in baseball. And then the Athletics, who, they can pop up and they do shit. He went 4 and 5 innings. So now we're getting a 17.5 number when he hasn't done this in, what's that, about 2.5 weeks or so. He hasn't gone over 5 innings, and now we're going to give 17.5. I think he absolutely shoves. White Sox are ass. Marlins could show up and just bust up Bryce Wilson, or they could just lay an egg. But regardless, I think Max Meyer pitches really well. I really like his stuff. He's been nasty all year, really nasty. If he ever got a consistent offensive run support, his wins would be, more than 2. But regardless, I'm not backing him to get a win. I'm backing him to go 6 innings against a dog shit White Sox team. And the wind is blowing in. It's kind of swirling a little bit. So that'll help
Swirling winds?
out with him. Semi-swirls.
Semi-swirls.
We got him going towards first base, then towards home plate by the end of the game. So semi-swirls, nothing serious, but still something to note down. But Max Meyer, absolute masterclass tomorrow. He's going to look like a Cy Young candidate against this shite Sox team.
What are your thoughts on that sharp analysis, Toast?
I agree that Miami's the play. It'd be Miami first 5 or pass for me. Just don't know if I want to lay minus a half a run for not even plus money.
What is it, minus 105?
Yeah. But at the same time, Trevor kind of mentioned it. You have Max Meyer, who started off the year really, really good. 2 back-to-back terrible starts for him. I have a hard time believing he doesn't bounce back here against the White Sox. Not to mention the fact that Miami just got done playing the Dodgers, and they ended up getting killed in some, but they weren't really even that game on Wednesday. I know that the total was 10-1, and Miami to score, but it was 1-0 or 0-0 until the 7th inning of that game, and then the Marlins bullpen absolutely just got destroyed. So again, my point to that is I don't even think that the Marlins are playing that bad of baseball right now. So I probably shouldn't really worry about laying the number. It's just in my head I don't, but I do think that Max Meyer bounces back, and Bryce Wilson's not only been terrible, but he's been particularly bad here at home. Again, the Cubs, it makes sense. They're really good offensively, but his last start against Houston, where he gave up 9 hits in 4 2/3, Houston couldn't hit anything to save their life right now. So I just have a hard time believing that the Marlins don't get a couple off of him.
I have no opinion. If I was to bet it, I would just probably lay the juice and take the Marlins money line if I was to bet it. Significant starting pitcher. Bryce Wilson is not a good pitcher. I don't know how else to say that without being disrespectful. He's not very good. So it would only be Marlins here. Move on to the next game, which is...
the White Sox coming in with travel too. That's a small travel, but it is travel.
Cincinnati on the road at Houston. Interesting one.
Shout out Reds. Shout out Braves for scoring runs today, right?
Yeah, shout out Braves for scoring 5.
How about Godolo? Everyone's talking shit after the first inning, and then he goes out and just absolutely shoves.
I knew we were going to have to deal with that. Everyone was, to Trevor's point, everyone was making fun of him in the group. When Lodolo gave up a run in the first, everyone was like, Trevor, you're an idiot. This guy sucks. He was definitely the butt of the jokes, but Trevor had the last laugh because Lodolo actually pitched well for a while after that. Luckily, thanks to extra innings, I still got my team total over. So no harm, no foul. Hey, appreciate the super chat, man. So Reds on the road in Houston. Like Toe said, the Astros bats are very unreliable right now. Nick Martinez has been pretty good. Just back-to-back solid starts against Washington Cardinals. Actually, 3 decent starts in a row. The start against the Marlins is okay, but Nick Martinez has been all right. Houston's not hitting. The Reds, it's like, do you think they can get the Hunter Brown? I kind of want to. At this price, I kind of want to look towards the Reds, but let me see the bullpen situation for the Reds actually, because they were missing.
Okay. It's fine.
Yeah, because they were using their B grade arms against the Braves. That was part of the reason.
They used Richardson and Miley. I don't think his name's Miley. I think it's May, but I call him Miley in my head, so I apologize. But
it's May. Okay. I'm looking at it here. They're going to be a little bit limited, but the Reds will have Scott Barlow. They will have Santillan and Pagan. So 3 of their 4 top arms will be available for Cincinnati. As long as Nick Martinez is able to go 5, the Reds bullpen will be in decent shape. I don't know. Minus 175 for an Astro team that isn't hitting just seems really expensive to me. What do you think, Toast?
I think it would be first 5. Or I don't know. I hate freaking playing unders in general. It would probably only be under for me. I'm not going to do it because I don't like playing unders, but Hunter Brown should bounce back after kind of getting throttled by the White Sox. I mean, he didn't get throttled, but for Hunter Brown standards, he was throttled by the White Sox. So I know it was one bad inning. I was just kind of making a joke there, but again, hard time believing that Hunter Brown doesn't pitch well. The only thing that's kind of throwing me off is that Nick Martinez does have some kind of bad history with this Astros team in general, but he's been really, really good this year. And he's actually one of the guys that I do trust. And then on top of the fact that both bullpens are going to be rested and ready to go. So it would only be under for me. Not a chance in hell I play it.
Something to keep in mind. I mentioned it for the other games. The Reds did go to extras in Atlanta, immediately fly to Houston. The Astros had a day off and are rested. So makes it a little bit tougher to get there with the Reds. I think I would probably agree with Toast on the under. What about Jonesy?
Oh, Hunter Brown record win plus 125. His outs were over 17.5 or minus 210. So absolutely no shot. I'm playing that. But Hunter Brown, 4 straight wins, 5 of his 7 games this year wins. The Reds, like you said, extra inning game. Now they're flying. And Houston's there. So after Hunter Brown absolutely shoves his shit down their throats, and the Astros get runs off of Nick Martinez, which is not asking a lot. They got a fresh bullpen coming in to hold the game down and get this win. So plus 125 is an absurd price, in my opinion. If the over 18.5 outs are like, a decent plus money, I'd probably fire on that too, because he can go deep in games. But just the Reds are they're not it. Like they're scoring some runs right now, dude. They look meh. Like they're getting 3-4 runs, but guess what? They're giving up 4 or 5 also. So they're not doing anything. So, and Astros. Last 2 weeks versus righties at home. I know it's a small sample, but 144 WRC plus, 828 OPS, 169 ISO. And the last 2 weeks overall versus righties, they are sitting 18th, but that was on the road. But that's still a 101 WRC plus. So they're still a tick above average overall, but at home they've been fine versus righties. So I don't think the Nick Martinez led Reds are going to really be a what's the word I'm looking for? Ferocious competitor to mow down or to get Hunter Brown and not have him mow down this lineup. He's also had 9 strikeouts in his last 3 games, so maybe 8 over 7.5 plus like 120 or whatever it was. That's tempting. But I will say my 23-1 Cy Young ticket on Mr. Brown is looking pretty good right now because he's been filthy.
Well, it's only like 10-1 because you wasted all that money on Lodolo, but that's okay.
I'd spring.
Next up.
The only reason I really don't like the under is that Hunter Brown's pitched at home like once this year. So I just want to see him pitch at home as well. That's another reason why.
At home in the teacup.
Toronto and the Mets.
Yeah, I know. One good start against the team that can't hit, and then he got hit up by the Mets. So it's just I need to see one more.
2 runs in 6 innings. 7 strikeouts, 4 hits,
3 walks.
Okay, that was to start the year.
That's a decent start.
And the Mets still can't hit. So I'm not impressed.
Are they a top 5 lineup right now? Giants on the road in Minnesota.
Not at that time.
The Padlock making a home start against the Giants. The Padlock is a favorite. That's how far Jordan Hicks has fallen in terms of his stock.
Or either that or how hot the Twins are right now.
Yeah, they are hitting. Got to give the Twins that. In the last 2 weeks, they have snuck into the top 10. This is a top 10 lineup in the last 2 weeks, and specifically I mean, they rocked Charlie Morton, rocked Hunter Dobbins. Twins are hitting right now. I think they're doing more damage against lefties than righties, but in the last 14 days, this is a top 5 home lineup, top 10 home lineup in the last month. Jordan Hicks looks terrible. I will say, though, the Twins are one of the worst lineups in baseball hitting the sinker this year, and that is Jordan Hicks' main pitch by far. He throws it over 54% of the time. Jordan Hicks throws the sinker 54% of his pitches, and the Twins are 29th in Major League Baseball hitting the sinker. So if there was ever a time for Jordan Hicks to maybe string a decent one together, not to mention Jordan Hicks struggles against lefty bats. Twins only 1, 2, 3 lefties in the lineup. I think the table's set for maybe Jordan Hicks pitching himself a decent one here.
Now do the bullpens.
Oh,
you're going to get real excited when you see the Minnesota bullpen. If you're on that San Francisco money line for me,
I think I'm going to be with it too.
So just so everybody knows, San Francisco money line to me. While Sauce is pulling up the bullpen situation so you guys can just see it with your eyes. I'm not a big Jordan Hicks guy at all, but he is very, very good against righty bats. He's pretty bad against lefty bats. There's a boatload of righty bats in that Minnesota lineup. Only Larnach will be probably the only lefty that he's going to see tomorrow. Sauce just saw the bullpen situation as we were speaking. Again, so it's just me kind of calling a little bit of BS on what we've seen from Minnesota so far. I mean, are we really going to give them that much credit for beating up the Baltimore Orioles at this point? I mean, come on. That's just low-hanging fruit at this point. The Boston series was, and again, I don't even know if they were that impressive versus the Boston series. It was like comeback and wins on Saturday and Sunday. So again, Minnesota has won their last 4 or 5 games or whatever. I'll give them some credit for that, but I don't think I say this a lot. I don't think that's indicative of the same Twin teams that we're seeing. And we're seeing at this point, this San Francisco team consistently be undervalued in the marketplace on a week-to-week basis. So until that's adjusted. Oh, and by the way, speaking of bullpens, San Francisco bullpen ranks on the year so far. 3rd in ERA, 2nd in WOBA, 5th in xBIP. Over the last 30 days, those numbers only get better. So even if Jordan Hicks has a shaky night, we still have a huge advantage late in this game. So Giants up for me.
Yep. Copy and paste. Just bet the Giants plus 105 on bet 365. I'm in. Giants up. Trev.
Getting the Giants at plus 105 is just a trap. Like, obviously, everybody loves the Giants, so you're going to get plus money.
Trap shit.
Ever played the game Mousetrap? You're walking right into one right now. Over City, over 8.5, minus 120. Hicks and Paddock, enough said. Minnesota's been good, scoring runs lately. San Fran, we know their offense is good too. Yes, San Francisco's bullpen's good, but Minnesota's bullpen's cooked. Wind's blowing out. It's looking like a beautiful day to score some runs. Not to mention it's City Connect Day. So obviously the Twins are going to have that extra bump. Look good, feel good, play good. The whole shebang.
Are we sure that they look good? Have you seen them?
Not yet, but I'm sure they look spectacular. I'm sure they look spectacular. Okay. There's no City Connect jersey looks bad. Are you kidding me?
Have you seen the Padres?
Fantastic.
He goes, it's City Connect Day.
Yeah, the Padres actually, that one sucks. Brewers honestly have like one of the better ones. It's sick. It's a baseball logo that's a grill. Because we tailgate and grill on.
Someone requested the fake sharp button on this Giants pick. Absolutely not. This is not indicative. This is not a time to hit that button. Not at all. Not in the slightest.
Also, I think the last 2 times you've hit it, I've won. So
I like that button.
Padres on the road against their nemesis, the Colorado Rockies. Toast will never bet the Padres against the Rockies. He's scared of them.
Facts.
Yes,
but
yes.
As we know, we've put this question out to everybody. I won't say it. Sauce, don't say it. See it in the comments. Randy Vasquez is on the mound. What's the first thing you look for, guys?
Let's see if anyone knows it.
I want to see it in the comments. What's the first thing you have to do when you see Randy Vasquez on the mound?
I don't think anyone's going to get it.
Bet the over.
No. Wrong.
His name is Randy Vasquez.
The stream's like 15-second delayed, so you got to give him like 15 seconds.
I know, that's what I said. You got to give him a couple seconds because then they'll start coming in. But I don't. It would only be the Padres or pass. I'm not going to answer that question right now, but it would only be the Padres or pass. I mean, obviously the Rockies are, like I just said earlier today.
They knew it. There's people in the comments that knew it.
They got it? All right, good job. It's do the Rockies have left-handed bats? And that's the question. And the answer to that is kind of, not really. I mean, they have Ryan McMahon. They have Nick Martini. Mickey Moniak was kind of cool.
So you said Randy Vasquez is on the mound. What's the first thing you got to look at, guys? Someone goes, his bulge.
Oh my God.
The answer is the first thing you have to look at is how many lefties are in the other lineup because he can't.
Midnight show.
He can't pitch the lefties. So the first thing you ask when Randy Vasquez is on the mound is how many lefties are in the other lineup. So anyway, go ahead, Toast.
It would only be the Padres. The only thing that's throwing me off is that, again, it's going to be a heavy public side. The Rockies haven't scored a run against the Padres in 3 games so far this year. The Rockies just lost 22-2 today. I don't know. This is just, again, it's only Padres minus 1.5, but it wouldn't shock me if Senzatella came in and threw a gem. Tatis is searching right now. His MVP candidacy is on the ropes as we speak. It's just not all great in Padres land.
What do you think, Jonesy?
Yeah, do you know why the Rockies got crushed by Detroit today? Because they didn't give a shit. This is the real series that matters. This is the Padres in town. And you get Vasquez on the bump. Rockies over 4.5. Easy.
Go. I even have a graphic for it. Rockies team total over 4.5. The fact that I have a graphic for it means he reached out to me beforehand to let me know he was picking this. So Trevor really likes this one.
Yep. Yeah.
Sooner or later, he's going to get lucky fading Randy. Sooner or later, he's got to have
get lucky, buddy. He's been a gift horse the last couple of years fading him.
Maybe years, I guess, but not this year. So
we're a month and a half into the season.
I don't really know about that. I'm looking at Randy Vasquez's stuff here. His last 3 starts, he's got a 7.71 ERA, a 7.13 xFIP.
Yeah, because he had one bad start in Detroit where he went 2 innings. That throws everything off. I mean, what do we do? I don't know.
Oh, he pitched well against the Pirates. Let's throw him a parade for that.
Yeah. How do you do against the Cubs? Is that a good team?
9 base runners and 5.
I'm just asking. It's a yes or no question. It's a yes or no question.
It's not a good start. 9 base runners in 5 innings. That's almost a 2 whip.
11, 7, 8. Like, he gives up base runners.
I think you bet the freaking Rockies here, honestly.
Attaboy. Whenever Vasquez is on the bump, it's easy. You just pivot and figure out how you want to attack him. You want no part of him.
All right.
I'm going to get a custom-made Vasquez jersey for whenever he pitches.
Yo, I'm just, again, you guys can call him Randy Vasquez all you want or whatever.
First of all, I don't use that nickname. He does.
Until I start seeing other numbers besides 1 by that little thing that we see ER by, I'm not really going to worry.
He gets lucky as hell. Like, you guys are trying to tell me Senzatella was the GOAT. Oh, he just knows he's got grit.
Every single start, just every single time he goes out there, he wins the Powerball? Every time?
He's going to Coors Field where he walks guys galore,
so now
gives
we're
up
talking
hits.
About this game only. Okay, nice. Okay, got it.
No, every single game he walks guys. He has like 8+ base runners a game.
This guy sucks.
Yeah.
He's not good.
Mm-hmm.
He's the new Senzatella. No offense.
Whoa, that was such an unnecessary shot to take at the Tella. Baltimore on the road in LA to play the Angels. The Blue Jays ended up winning that 8-5 tonight, right? That was happening while we were. All right, so I'm assuming because the Blue Jays took the lead. Okay, Blue Jays took the lead in the 6th, which means the Angels didn't have to use any of their arms. So Angels bullpen should be good. Sagano versus Kyle Hendricks. What an ugly matchup. Sagano's been pretty cool. But dude, the Orioles lineup is so bad. In the last 2 weeks, this is a bottom 5 lineup in baseball. We used to say, hey, they're just bad against lefties. They could still hit righties. They can't hit righties anymore either. Kyle Hendricks coming off a gem against the Tiger. I don't know what to do with this game. I'm literally just spitballing. I got nothing.
You can keep you're right on that. You're hitting it right on the nose. I mean, everything, if you look as far as numbers wise, Baltimore should score 15 runs tomorrow. Kyle Hendricks coming off the start of his life. I mean, I guess the only thing that you can say is that Kyle Hendricks hasn't been completely blown to shreds by lefties this year like he has, I guess, been righties. The xFIP's high and stuff like that. But again, I'm not betting Baltimore, especially at this price. Let me get the price for it. It would only be Baltimore team total over for me. Let me get the price for you. probably not going to bet it. I cashed my team total with them today. I'm not going to do it again. Yeah, it's 4.5 minus 140. Not a chance in hell. That's the only way I would look at this game.
I'll just put it on the screen, even though you said you're not betting this. Something up. I'm looking at the matchup here with Kyle Hendricks, like Toe said, coming off the best game of his season, through an absolute gem, pitched almost 8 innings against the Tigers, just 4 hits and 1 run. So Kyle Hendricks coming off his career game, perfect time to fade him. He throws with his right hand, which is better news, obviously, for the Orioles. This is the territory where if the Orioles do not hit Kyle Hendricks, this is like fire the manager because something's really wrong.
He should have been fired a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Well, that's a different conversation. But whatever, I'm talking about the Orioles right now. If they don't get to Kyle Hendricks, something's wrong. And I don't mean that in some like hot take way. Like this would be bad if they don't hit Kyle Hendricks here. So I mean, I guess it should be Orioles minus 1.5 because my brain says, Kyle, there's no way Baltimore's this bad. There's no way they're this bad.
On top of the fact, I mean, I talked about, I'm not going to go through it in detail again, but I talked about it. I mean, that game today or yesterday, whatever it was, in Minnesota, I mean, they had 2 runners on in every single inning with less than 1 out. And they were, I think, 2 for 13 or something like that with 7 strikeouts in those positions. So even those numbers will tell you that they're not going to go 2 for 13 and runners in scoring position. It can only get better for Baltimore, yet they seem to only make it worse. Like it's just unbelievable.
You know what's funny? And this is if the person I'm referencing is watching, I don't mean it in any hostile way. You know what's funny? Toast is on opening day. We both took the Blue Jays money line against the Orioles, which lost. And someone commented, like, these guys are such idiots. Betting baseball is easy. Just take the Orioles every game, and you'll be profitable every year. They have a minus 32% ROI. That guy is literally broke. Jonesy, speak.
Yeah, yeah. This is Angels first 5 money line plus 114. The second gander at what the Angels have done against righty starters at home here. 4-2-2-0, 4-4-3-1-2. So you got to go back to mid to early April to where these guys haven't been hitting righties at home. And now let's go take a gander at the Orioles on the road versus righties. 1-2-1-1-1-1-0-2-5 against Zach Gallen, April 7th. And then they got 4 off a walk. And other than that, 1-1-2-2, and 6 to start the year against Barrios. So 3 times on the road all year versus righty, they've scored more than 2 runs. Majority of the time, it's 1 or 0. Angels first 5 money line. If it's tied, so be it. But I think the Angels can get to Sagano, and then I think Hendricks will back up with another good game. No one's going to want to bet Hendricks. Orioles are so good. They're freaking ass, especially on the road. And they can't hit righties on the road either. They're terrible. This team is terrible. They are terrible.
They are the
worst. How many guys do they have on base in the first 2-3 innings? And they brought 2 guys home total. Like they had the leadoff on for 4 or 5 straight innings, and they got grand total 2 total runs. 2.
Yeah, I mean,
incredible.
It's insane that they only scored 2 runs based on the Toast was reading it on the show. That they only scored 2 runs. They had 2 men on base, 5 different innings out of the first 5 of the first 7 innings. They had 2 men on base, sometimes with no outs, 1 out, and they managed to score 2 runs.
Ober had 60 pitches through 3 innings, and they had 2 runs.
I kind of still want to bet Baltimore. I'm not going to do it though. It's just this is such a good matchup against Kyle Hendricks.
I was going to say, and also the Baltimore road numbers, I get it. They're bad. But again, if you look at the righty starters they're seeing, it's not a lot of teams are going to do a whole bunch of damage against those guys. So again, I'm not trying to make a case for Baltimore. I'm just saying those are the things that are in consideration for me.
Bailey Ober, Woods Richardson, Kiter Montero, Trevor Williams, Brandon Pfaadt. I mean, it's not like they're going against a murderer road.
Zach Gallen, Seth Lugo, Michael Walker,
that was literally a month ago.
Scherzer, Bassett, all those guys at home. Again, it's just, yeah.
Toronto on the road in Seattle. The Louis Castillo, who didn't get traded, is pitching for Seattle. I don't know. The Mariners had 2 Louis Castillos. They had a young prospect, Louis F. Castillo, who has now been traded. So this is the original Louis Castillo, the one with the long hair. That's who's pitching here.
That town ain't big enough for 2 Louis Castillos.
corny but funny.
Yo. So they send him to Baltimore. He's a triple A for Seattle. He's a starter for Baltimore.
So I'm going to pass the rock over to Jonesy. He's our resident Toronto Blue Jays beat writer, just an expert of all things Toronto Blue Jays. That's a joke. He never picks the Blue Jays games right.
No, I did 2 days ago. Shout out Angels.
The fact that he referenced one time just shows you how infrequently it happens. What do you think here so I can bet the other side?
Yeah, I do that with Toronto. Anytime you bet an over and under in Arizona, just flip that bad boy around.
You'd be hitting high rate.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you bet Toronto, man. I don't know how you bet Toronto. This team is terrible. I mean, we saw Bassett go and get lit up by the friggin' Angels. Now he has to go play Seattle with a day off at home. I know it's Seattle at home. Runs are tough to come by. But guess what? If they're tough to come by, Toronto may score 0. Give me Toronto team total under, whatever the hell it is. I'm guessing it's going to be 3.5. Don't care. I'll take the under. I think Castillo's going to be fine. Obviously, we know he gives up some runs. He has some walk issues occasionally. But Toronto can't do dick. Like, they had bases loaded and like 1 out or no outs or some shit tonight. 0. I know they got to the bullpen late, but Seattle's bullpen's a lot better than the Angels is. And Castillo, I'm a big fan of, and we all know about Seattle bats. They're very good this year. They can actually score and put up runs. So I know it's at Seattle, a little scary, but I still think Toronto's going to struggle to score against Castillo in this bullpen tomorrow. So give me a 4-2 final. Seattle on the run line. Definitely take that.
As far as it being in Seattle, if you're taking an under, that should help you because it's tough to score runs in this ballpark. It's tough to take a team total under when Castillo's pitching because like I feel like you just always chalk him up for 6 1/3, 3 runs. Like every time he pitches, 6 1/3, 2 runs, 6 2/3, 3 runs. Like he's just going to give you a quality start. But like I feel like you don't see many starts from Castillo when he just shuts the opponent down. And I know that sounds kind of crazy because he's coming off back-to-back really good starts. It's just not usually what we're accustomed to seeing. That being said, how can you bet on the Toronto Blue Jays to score runs right now? I know they scored 8 tonight, but just the last few games. I have no opinion at all about this. Toast?
Toronto or pass for me. I just really hate the spot for Seattle. This isn't me trying to say that Seattle's not good or anything like that. They're one of the hotter teams in baseball with the Royals. Just hate the spot after playing 3 straight divisional series, one against the Angels at home, then they went on the road to Texas and then on the road to the Athletics. So it's just 3 straight divisional battles like that. I'm not a fan of the spot like that. You guys know that I'm not a fan of Luis Castillo at all. I think he's, like I continue to say, the definition of average. He's going to be about a 3.5, 3.6 ERA guy or whatever. And that's about average. And he's coming off of 2 very, very good starts against Texas and Miami. Toronto's already seen him once this year. Obviously that was in Toronto, but he gave up 10 hits in 5 innings. So again, it would only be Toronto. I really, really hate the spot for Seattle. If I get like 130, 135 with Toronto, I probably end up pulling the trigger.
So I actually like the under, I think, in this ballpark. You got wind blowing in a little bit. It's Seattle where runs are never scored. Gosman on the road, he's solid. Mariners bats, maybe a bit of a sell high. I don't think they're quite that good.
Keep in mind, though, the Mariners overs at home have been pretty decent so far this year.
Until now. I want to read this comment.
Throw that out there. That's all.
I want to read this comment. Marcus Bowie says, I played a drinking game with the Orioles. Every time they failed to get a run in with less than 2 outs or advance a runner on second with no outs, I drank. I'm watching this stream from the ER.
I was going to say, I'm surprised you can still type.
All right, let's go to the next.
Also, the last time Castillo played Toronto at home, the one time, it was 6 2/3, 1 earned, 2 hits. And that was last year in July. He already saw Toronto this year on the road, got lit up for 5. That was in Toronto. Now we're in Seattle, where it's like you can't score runs if you're going against Castillo. Everybody knows he's a shutdown pitcher at home.
No one knows that.
Dodgers on the road. Shout out Snakes, by the way. And Toast, we talked about it last night, how I was like, I want to take the Snakes. And remember, you were on Dodgers first 5. You didn't even hate my Diamondbacks full game pick. And you were like, and I was like, yeah, and then the Dodgers will get him back in the second game. And you were like, you had mentioned that you wouldn't even be surprised if the Diamondbacks put up a fight in the second game as well.
Correct. I agree with that.
So you think the Diamondbacks can get to Sasaki is basically what you were alluding to.
I do, yes.
I think so too.
I mean, they're just elite versus right-handed pitching, and Sasaki has seen just bad lineup after bad lineup after bad lineup the last few starts. So Atlanta, Pittsburgh, Texas. I mean, the Cubs was a good start. Philly was a decent start, I guess. But Philly, Detroit, and Chicago Cubs, his first 3 starts of the year, he went 3 innings, inning and 2/3 in 4 innings. So again, I
want to point something out. It's on the same topic. Look at his numbers against lefties, and he's pitching against lineups recently that don't have a ton of lefties. Now against Arizona, loaded with lefty. I think Arizona's going to hit him. So I agree with you.
Yeah, I was about to get to that point. The numbers versus lefties are like extremely concerning. I mean, a guy that's supposed to be this touted as with a 614 xFIP against them. I mean, that's just absolutely ridiculous. I honestly don't understand how we're getting a 4.5 at this number. It's Arizona team total over 4.5 for me. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, I get the Dodgers bullpen or Arizona money line, either way you want to play it, but I don't understand. I mean, this Dodgers, if we're being honest with ourselves, like, I know that guys like Ben Kasperius and Jack Dreyer, and I mean, Luis Garcia hasn't been terrible for them, but like, are those guys that we're really going to sit here and trust continually over and over again? Like, maybe in 2 months' time, if they're continuing to pitch at this level, but I have a hard time believing that they're going to continue to pitch at this level. And keep in mind, it's not like the Dodgers have been playing very good competition over the last couple of weeks. Now they're finally to start playing better, but it's easy to start playing better when you play Pittsburgh, Miami, Atlanta, and then Miami again. So again, I think that the Dodgers bullpen has performed good, but I don't think they're as good as what they performed as. And so now we're getting a Snakes team that, I don't know who's better versus right-handed pitching than the Snakes this year. I mean, you're really cutting hairs at this point, but they're number 2 in OPS. They're number 2 in WOBA. They're 4 in WRC plus. I mean, you can't really find anything not to like about this Arizona lineup versus right-handed pitching. So as far as, I guess I don't hate the over as well, but again, I don't know what to think of this Dodgers offense right now. Again, I didn't think I was going to worry about it, but I mean, they looked pretty dead today until super late in this game. And like I said today as well, even though I bet the Dodgers, is that after Freddie Freeman, I know Andy Paz has had a little bit of a resurgence so far this year, but Kike, Conforto, Rojas, and Chris Taylor, I mean, that's a pretty damn bad bottom of that lineup. So Diamondbacks team total over for me. That's the bet that I was going to make. I don't hate the over at all either. I think those are the 2 best plays you can make in this game.
So the move is over, and I like what Toast said about the Diamondbacks bats. Not in disagreement at all. The reason would go over instead of just the Arizona team total over is right here. Eduardo Rodriguez, I'm not the biggest fan of him. He's all right. He's a crafty veteran. Phillies really got to him. Mets really got to him. He was all right in the Rays game, but last couple starts has looked a little shaky. But specifically, look at the Dodgers against lefties. In the last 30 days, this is the best lineup in baseball against lefties. Also the best lineup in baseball in the last 14 days. And look at the game logs. Here are what happens when lefty starters pitch against the Dodgers. Absolutely tattooed Bailey Falter. 10 base runners and 5 runs. Didn't even make it to the 5th inning, or didn't even make it through 5. Before that, Matthew Boyd, who's been pretty good this season, made it 6 innings, 11 base runners. That's almost a 2 whip. Imanaga, 9 base runners, 5 earned runs. That's Imanaga. Before that, Matthew Boyd, 7 base runners, 3 earned runs. So the Dodgers are just crushing lefties right now, and I don't trust Eduardo. We know we know runs can be scored in this ballpark. Whether it's the Diamondbacks that give you 6 or the Dodgers that give you 6 or both teams giving you 6, I think it's going to get up and over. And this is Trevor's moment of truth. We'll find out if he's full of shit, because earlier in this stream, he's just, I'm just going to fade you every time you take a total in Arizona. So go ahead. Take the under then, Trev. This is your moment.
I was really hoping he played anything but the over, but no, it would be over. Nothing for me too. Also, Roki Sasaki, if his strikeouts open at like 4.5 or something, I'll take the under. He hasn't gone over 4 this year, and then righties versus the Diamondbacks on the road. They've had 4-4, 6-6. That was Canning and Schwellenbach. 4-5, 3-2, 6-3, 4-4-1. Like they struggle to strike out this Diamondbacks team because they hit so well at home. But the Dodgers also versus Eduardo Rodriguez. They have a 329 batting average. The expected is 265, but regardless, they're 26 of 79 here. Freddie Freeman, 6 of 12, a double and a dinger. You got Ohtani with a dinger off of him. Enrique Hernandez, 5 of 11, a double and a dinger. So I mean, they've got guys that can hit. So over or nothing. But Sasaki under 4.5 out or strikeouts if it's not a ridiculous number. I'd be implied to grab that because he's gone like 1-5 like twice this year, maybe. So he's kind of just like hangs around that 4 or 5 inning mark and then they pull him out. So yeah, give me the under the strikeouts and the over. In the game.
I played both because I think you're going to see 10s in the morning, and I'm getting on that 9.5 right now.
I'll bet it with you. Let's go. Trev, you got to take the under, right?
Especially if me and Sauce are both on the over.
Yeah, this is your
moment.
moment.
Clock's right twice a day.
This is your moment.
Goddamn
Trevor.
right it is. It hasn't been right for 2 days.
Dude, this week has been terrible. This week has been
I can't even complain. I just hate seeing on Twitter.
I had a good day, so you guys aren't bringing me down. I had a good day.
I was like close to even, so I'm not really worried. I had a good day yesterday. I just hate seeing everybody's 4 and 5 team parlays of the biggest favorites on the board and thinking that there's look at my 4-teamer. Oh my goodness, free lunch money.
Plus 211 on a 14.
Was that a Shipley impression?
Kill me. No, Shipley's even worse. He's like a first basket guy. He's not even in a
first basket. Oh my god,
dude. Does Shipley have success with that? Because I played the first basket one time and I hit it. No big deal. 9-1 with Tugler in the national championship.
Does Shipley have success? You could have just ended it there. No.
Does Shipley have success in life? No. All right, I'm in. Over 9.5, minus 115, and you're right. Most sportsbooks have moved it up to 10 already.
That's why. Yeah.
No, but Trevor wants to bet the under.
And yes, I am a certified hater. I just got my certificate 3 weeks ago. To the guy in the comments.
So no, it looks like I did put the Athletics in the right spot. So I guess earlier I just accidentally switched the Athletics.
That'd be a hell of a travel day.
Yeah. We're in Sacramento. Yankees are across the country against the A's. We got Beto. Actually, it's Beto this time, not in the Pittsburgh game. Will Warren making a road start. The total's 10.5. Gives you a good idea of what the market thinks in this one. Toast, anything?
No, not. I don't really have very much. I want to play. I guess it would be over or pass, but
10.5 with the Yankee bats, who you claim are terrible.
I have no fucking feeling for this game at all. So
yeah,
I guess over. I think that Beto's terrible, and the Yankees are going to be in a little AAA ballpark. Again, the Yankees aren't scoring run guys. You guys can try to poke holes and laugh at me and say what you want, but if you go through those game logs, tell me you're impressed. Just let me know when, and I'll stop. But
just let them know when.
just please give me an example.
Well, I mean, you do have the Yankees flying across the country. I mean, this is New York to Sacramento. Doesn't get much farther trip than this. The A's had a day off, didn't have to travel, coming off back-to-back losses. Wouldn't be mad. I don't think Beto's that bad. I wouldn't be mad at this, that Oakland sneaks this one. I mean, Will Warren is not.
He got lit up by Miami and Texas, and the only 2 good starts that is making his numbers look good is because he faced the White Sox twice.
Nah, all right. I think the A's are going to score runs off Will Warren here. Sue me. The Orioles blasted Will Warren.
I know. Trust me. That's why I said over or pass. Like, I can't.
No, I think it's A's or pass. What about Jonesy?
Yeah, I like the A's money line. I like A's over 4.5 total. Will Warren, 39% hard hit percentage. If we go take a gander here at the weather. 90 degrees at first pitch, wind blowing out 5 miles an hour. Nothing serious, but it's a AAA park, and it's going to be 90 degrees. Oakland can also score runs at home.
90 degrees in Sacramento.
88, I rounded up. 88,
no, that's fine. Same difference. I'm good with that. Jesus. Then, yeah, even more over. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah. No, you're good. So I like that. It's minus 110. Like, it's not even juice. Like, the Yankees is 5.5 minus 120, which, fair argument. Beto, 43% hard hit, highest out on the board as starting pitchers, and a 50% fly ball percentage. So, sure, maybe the Yankees pop up for one, but regardless, I still think, like Kyle said, cross-country travel, the bats are so hit or miss, no Jazz Chisholm still. A's money line and over 4.5. I'm going to bet this one way or another. I'm probably going to be on the team total instead, just so I don't have to sweat out this bullpen. Anyway, but still 4.5 with Will Warren and this weather. Yes.
I feel very similar to you. I think the A's are going to score, and I don't think Beto's as bad as Toast does. So I honestly, I'm not betting that one right now. I wouldn't be surprised if by the time this game starts at 10:05 p.m. tomorrow night, I'm holding an A's ticket. We'll talk about it on the 4 p.m. show. How about that? With Lindy. All right, guys, enjoy your night. Talk to you guys later or tomorrow morning. I got Lander here. We're going to talk about NBA. Talk to you guys later.
All right. Toodles.
The next
Now, Saturday. What? All right. So, 1 second. Let's set up the screen for two people. All right. All right. Cleveland, Indiana in an interesting one. Josh will be popping up on the screen in a second. I just pasted the link. Cavs -2.5. Pacers +2.5. And before we even start talking about this one, obviously the lead story, the first thing we need to pull up before we say anything is right here. You guys already know what I'm going to bring up. The injury report for Cleveland, which is just crazy how... I mean, the injuries must be serious. That's all I'll say, because this is crazy to be playing around with this. As you guys remember, these guys didn't play in the last one. Garland, Mobley, DeAndre Hunter, all listed as questionable again for Game 3. Josh, I'll just go through my notes real quick, and then we could just kind of talk about it.
Yeah, but real quick, can we just say, like, if this was 1993, these dudes are playing, man. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. That's all I'm saying. This is peculiar. I'll say that. It's peculiar. I don't really know why they wouldn't want to play. Like, I don't get it, kind of, is I guess the best way to describe it. I'm a big NBA fan today, and I think nostalgia gets a hold of people when they start comparing. Like, I don't think people accurately remember some stuff. Like people remember 90s basketball a certain way. Man, I've sat there and watched game film, and on YouTube they put old games of a 90s basketball game. The shot making is like, oh my God, these guys suck. like just missing. Boring.
Yeah, it's like really boring, and it's kind of like the NFL. They'll be like, oh, they're so soft. The game's so soft. You put on a game from the 80s, it's like 3-yard handoff. Yeah. It's like, this is really bad.
Nobody wants to watch that.
Yeah. So like people, it's nostalgia. I will say this is weird for a playoff game down 0-2. So what is the story of this series? Pretty simple. Cleveland can't make stops. 120.5 defensive rating in games 1 and 2, and that's at home in Cleveland. Now they're going to Indiana. The Pacers offense has been a problem at home all year. This has been a borderline top 5 offense at home. On the road, they're closer to in between 9 and 12, like more closer to average. But at home, this offense is great. So I don't see any signs that the Cleveland defense is able to make stops. They haven't showed us yet. Now they go into Indiana. I don't think Cleveland's defense can stop the Pacers, but we do have this. We're talking about the best road offense in the NBA by actually a good margin. Cleveland had a 123 offensive rating this year on the road. 123 is fucking crazy on the road. So this was the best road offense in basketball this year. So if they're healthy, not that the Pacers defense has actually been surprisingly pretty good, not just in the series, but down the stretch of the regular season. If Cleveland's banging on all cylinders, they're scoring. If they're healthy, they're scoring on the Pacers defense. So I think people are maybe sleeping on how easily Cleveland could potentially score on the Pacers defense. That's what I think is being missed. If everyone plays, I have this one around 232. So I love the over if everyone plays. I also lean towards Cleveland at -2.5. I haven't bet it yet. I bet the second game. We'll talk about that in a second. So what are your thoughts on what I just said, Josh?
In big agreement here. I also, that is my favorite bet for sure. I'll lead off with this since you already gave it off. I'll just say I agree
with the
entirely.
Over?
Yeah, the over 229.5. I made it. I had a show earlier for that I freelance for a company, the lines.com, did an episode for this game earlier and said I make it about 132.5, 133. I would take this over at like two or
I'll bet it with you. I'll bet it with you right now.
Yeah, 230.5, 231.5. I would still take this over is what I was telling people earlier. And I don't know that it's necessarily going to get bet up. So I'm good with all that. What I said when I think the first show I did was the Cleveland Indy game 1 or it was game 2. And I mentioned already at that point, I don't like the matchups for Cleveland on defense. And to be honest, I didn't like them in the Miami series. I just didn't realize how incompetent truly Miami's offense was. I mean, it's not like I bet on Miami anyway, but I did think like Tyler Hero would have a bit more success, and that certain guys like maybe not Bam because it's harder down low, but I did think certain guys would come in and be able to score on guys like Sam Merrill, Ty Jerome, and even Max Strus is the best defender you have guarding the best offensive player on the other team, and that's holding true to what you were saying here. Like Siakam and Halliburton were horrible in the first quarter. They lost by like 17 points because they scored 15, and that was it. After that, they were the better team after that quarter. They won the rest of the quarters. Donnie Mitchell did inhumane things to get to nearly 50 points, and that was the only reason that they were in that game. So now it just comes down to like what do you think in terms of the side or a money line here? I wouldn't touch it until I know what's up with those three guys. Because once again, I would go back and take like Donnie for 40 and the Indy money line again, and still think that was a pretty good bet. The way that the Cavs have to score to even keep this thing close if they don't have especially Mobley and even to a degree Hunter coming in for wing defense as well. So yeah, everything you said, I'm spot on with. And yeah, I still love Indy to win this series.
So actually, I don't know if this is happening while we were talking or just happened within the last 20 minutes. So I just got it over 227.5. So the total has dropped within the last. This must have just happened. So and I'm looking, and it looks like the lines. I don't know if there's. Do you see any breaking news on Twitter or anything?
I'm looking myself now. So the total I'm seeing, I see a 228.5. Where are you seeing 227?
227.5 on ESPN Bet, Superbook.
Okay. Yep.
226.5 on Circa just dropped.
Yeah, okay.
This is dropped. Something's going on. Something just happened because this. I'm looking at the thing and it like what? Look at the colors. I'll bring it up on the screen so you guys can see. I have
nothing on the Twitters.
All right, so I'll see what you guys are what I'm looking at here. So see all the colors? That means shit's moving. Look at the Cleveland Indiana game. Like something's going on.
Is that live now or is that a screenshot?
No, that's live. See, just 226.5 on Circa. Caesars is down. Let's see if you can see it. I don't know what's going on. Let me make it smaller. But something is happening right now. Pinnacle down to 227 flat. What is
As
going
we're in the middle
on?
of talking about the over.
Yeah, what is going on? Someone must have been ruled out. I don't know.
But well, let's just, while we're trying to figure that out, like
I just bet the over at 227.5. I'm in. But as far as the side, I kind of think Cleveland's gonna win.
Really? But like, do injuries matter to you in this equation?
Of course, which is why it's almost like it's the kind of thing where like I don't even want to put my name on any sort of prediction because like but when we get updated information, I might be like, forget everything I said. So let's just skip over to the other one that I bet. Because there's a lot of moving pieces. We got the total moving right now. I don't know why. So let's move over to the other one, which I bet already. Right. And this will be a very short explanation. I bet the Thunder -4.5. And pretty similar explanation that I gave in game 1. 1 second. Should have bet it in game 2. I took the over actually, which won. So I won my bet in game 2, but I should have taken the Thunder there as well. I think the market's just been a couple points off on this the entire time, if you ask me. In game 1, it had 9.5. I had it at 12. Game 2, they bumped it up to 11. I still had it at 12. So I think it's the market's been slightly tilted towards Denver, and now I have this one at 6, and they gave me a 4.5. Oklahoma City's been the best team in the NBA all year. What they've been specifically good at is they've been very good when they see good teams. When they see good competition, they show up. Their record against teams above 500 is nuts. They just show up when they play good teams. They also show up when they play offensive teams. They're unbelievable against teams that have good offenses. That describes the Nuggets to a T. I know that you had mentioned what you said about Aaron Gordon against Jalen Williams was interesting. Maybe changed my opinion a little bit, but for me, unless I see something drastic, it's just going to be Oklahoma City blind in this one, in my opinion. And look, I'm not an Oklahoma City Thunder fan or a Nuggets hater, so I promise I believe this is coming from an objective point of view, but I truly believe what we saw was Oklahoma City take their foot off the gas in the second half of game one, and it's kind of skewing our vision of what this series is. I think the series is the best team in the NBA against a team that's a step down. And what we saw in the second half of game one is kind of skewing that. I think Oklahoma City Oklahoma City might win this series in 5, but I'm laying 4.5 I bet this game 3.
You get some pretty decent money for OKC in 5 right now. Probably
that's
close
a good question.
Even.
I haven't even looked.
Probably close to even. And that's obviously like.
I'm sorry, guys. My 4.5's gone. They're all 5 now. It's actually 5.5 on BetMGM. Oh, I got some closer value.
Yeah, when it comes to the spread here, I was gonna say like I think the public is going to like the under 5 points here. Like I don't know if you guys talked about it much on the show, but like 5 points is pretty key in basketball.
Yep. When
you think about the end of a game, teams that are down 5, right, or 6 even,
5,
they're
6,
less
and
likely
7
to
are the main key numbers.
Yep. 5, 6, and 7 in the NBA, similar to the 6s and 7s and 3s in the NFL. So yeah, I think I'm happy to watch that happen. I'm not touching that. Like, first of all, if you're right that you should have bet the 10.5 in game 2. If you like the 4.5 in Denver, right? If you give them 3 points at home, then you do like this. You think this is fair. You think both numbers are good, and so like, yeah, maybe when it goes back, we'll see. But I think there's like 2 ways to look at it. One is game 1 is the only real like case here that we have to like draw from and be like, well, this is how the rest of the series is going to go because of how game 1 went. And what you said about game 1 that was key was they took their foot off the gas in the second half. And I would agree. The counterpoint to that could be Jokic picks his spots. Game 2 was always a loss. So throw that out the window. That doesn't tell you anything. In game 1, they kept it within 10 at the half. And that was pretty key because they were in jeopardy of going down like 17, right? They kept it to 10. Jokic picks his spots. They dominate enough at the end of the third quarter and into the fourth that like it's a game and then they win at the end. But you know, I don't believe in that as much either. I think over the course of a series, like that'll just wear them out. They double teamed the crap. They triple teamed Jokic in the next game. That was so key. I like his assists a lot more. People were asking me in the comments of the video I put out earlier if I like Jokic for what I liked him for: points, rebounds, assists. I like him for the assists more because I think they're going to continue to triple team him. Like they're not going to watch him take 29 shots anymore. It's not going to happen because he got where he wanted when he wanted to too often. And that would be the form of taking their foot off the gas. I think that you were referencing, like maybe a little more specifically, the worst possible way was not surrounding that man with all of their rangy defenders. We'll just see if the role players play better for Denver at home. That might be an out that we have here for them to do better in this game.
Yeah. By the way, 225 at Circa. It's in a free fall.
Am I missing?
What is going on? An NBA playoff total has dropped 4.5 points in a matter of a couple of minutes. Why? What is happening? Is Halliburton out? Like what am I missing? There's going to be something that's going to drop. Somebody knows something.
I'm going to ask ChatGPT. That's not going to work.
Yeah, I doubt ChatGPT has it.
Why is this total dropping? Yeah, I don't know because I still want to play the over.
I played the over. I got over 227.5. Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. Well, hopefully it levels out, but it is in a 225 flat at Circa. Why? Hold on. I'm going to search on Twitter.
Yeah, go for it.
Nuggets total in the same tweet. Let's see. No one's tweeting about it.
I know.
OKC total. No one's tweeting about it.
Yeah, Twitter's not doing anything
dropping. Nope, no one's tweeting about it. What's going on? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow when we figure it out. But this total is in a free fall. All right.
I'm sick to know why.
guys, enjoy your night. Oh, do you have videos up tonight, Josh?
Yeah, no, appreciate it. Yeah, if people want to check it out, I'm actually going to be in Vegas for a few days, starting tomorrow. So I'll be out there. I might be able to join the show. I'll let you know, obviously, but I'll have videos up for tomorrow already. So check those out.
Yeah, I see. I just clicked on your channel. Thunder Nuggets. I only see one.
Yeah, I just have that one. And then for Cavs Pacers, I was hoping to get some info. And sounds like by the time I wake up, I might have some. And then I'm going to go live pretty early tomorrow. It'll be like 1 p.m. on the East Coast.
All right, cool. So the link I just shared, that's his Nuggets Thunder video, and maybe we'll do the Cavs in the morning. All right, everyone, enjoy your night. Bet responsibly. Hit me up if you need me. I'll be up for another hour or two working on some stuff.